this guy coming up now, he's from Rehovot, so he's really good times. Actually, he's been coming out here. We love him. Give your hands together for Pinchas Levinson. Coming up to the mic.
If you move to the left, and then you do that. But it shouldn't move. The microphone is here. It doesn't really move a lot.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay, welcome, yeah. Okay, so you guys know what the big news of the day is? Anyone? Big news of the day? Today's news?
No.
No, it's Iran. Come on, where you guys been? Yeah, the big news is Iran, and of course the only really good comment on Iran from coming out of Israel is from Civilan, who is telling Moussaoui, stick with it, I too got the most number of votes, and I'm not yet in power. You know, I mean, that's really the best comment here. And of course there's our friend Barack Obama, who has his usual tepid response. Clearly the insult is the Israeli settlements. They must tear them down right away. You know, I mean, this guy is just like a one-track mind. You know, he was in Egypt and he says, look at those pyramids. Who built them, right? The Jews, right? Let's take them down now. I mean, he's really, he's got his one response to everything. But that, of course, is outside our borders. We just live here in Israel, right? The big news here, one of the big pieces of news was, of course, Book Week. Did anyone here actually buy a book in Book Week? Yeah. Very good. But unfortunately, you're really in the minority, right? We have long since ceased being the people of the book, right? We are the people of the envelope, right? You look at Dudu Topaz, who sends the envelopes. You look at Avram Hirschenson, who collects the envelopes. This is clearly the medium of today, right? I mean, you take Dudu Topaz, who is just, of course, a one-man headline generator. I don't know if you've been following him for weeks, you know. The latest was that he is going to be indicted for threatening Barack Obama, right? You know, diplomatic initiative rejected. You know, so he was sending out that letter, and of course he tells all his friends, don't worry, you didn't get a letter from me, you're still on my A-list, you know, and he's just wild. And of course he is in fact going to be indicted for foreign extortion, and Topaz says, look, I got a successful formula, why can't I franchise it, you know? And then, of course, the partner here is Hirschenson, right, who, in fact, was at Book Week signing his 200-page indictment to anyone who wanted to buy one. It was really a good time. And, the Book Week, Haaretz, they have their response. They got 35 readers, in fact, so one day they let those readers write the paper. And the best response actually came from Rami Levy, right, who said, buy a chicken for a shekel and I'll throw in you 2 books. That was really, that was the original response. And, right, the other big news here, of course, was Bibi's speech. Anybody here actually hear the whole speech? It was quite long. And, of course, where did he do it, right? Bar-Ilan University. Bar-Ilan University, home of great theoretical diplomacy, right? You think Yigal Amir, that's really the place where you want to deliver your speech. And of course, what did Bibi offer the Palestinians? He offered them their own state, right? Because it was New Jersey, but that's you'll take what you know. Actually, he did offer them a state that would live side by side with the Jewish state, no touching, in peace and harmony, right? Kind of like a Jewish marriage, And what did the settlers respond, of course, to this? They decided that they would form countries on each hilltop, so that there wouldn't be any problem with one living next to the other. And, right, so what happened to Bibi, of course, was that yesterday he had his sty in his eye, So the surgeons take out this foreign object, and he says, oh, finally I can see the diplomatic horizon. That's how it goes here in this country. And, and then, of course, we move on to the Knesset, where I don't know how many of you know this, but any large organization that has a fleet of cars has to have a bumper sticker that says, how am I driving? But, of course, the Knesset members exempted themselves because they have so many bumper stickers. They should have, how am I lying? How am I wasting my term? How am I a sexual predator? Forget it. It just wasn't going to happen. So the Knesset didn't do it. And then, And then, of course, we had the big home front drill 2 weeks ago. Anybody actually participate in that? Yeah. Whoa. Good. Yeah, right. 11 o'clock in the morning, the siren sounds. Run your gazebos off to that nearest bomb shelter. But yeah, that's what was supposed to happen. Right? You couldn't even ask Matan Vilnahi, the head of it, where the nearest bomb shelter was. But there were a lot of glitches, right? I mean, the Haredim, who usually, when they're supposed to stand at attention at these sirens, finally decided, well, they're going to stand still when this siren goes off, right? And of course, the Arabs, who usually rush to the rooftops to see the incoming missiles, found those rooftops locked. I mean, what kind of a drill is this when things aren't ready, And then, of course, here in Jerusalem, you have your very own Nir Barkat, the new mayor, who's really doing a great job. He's quite pleased with himself that he was able to foster the long-standing tradition of violent Haredi secular strife so early in his term with this parking lot, right? And of course, all the Chilunim are just going gaga. Here it is, a great parking spot so close to Tel Aviv. And he cuts it off. He says, don't worry, it'll happen after Shabbat. We'll get it together. And then, of course, I'm sure you all know there was this neo-Nazi in the States who went to the Holocaust Museum and started shooting up like there's no tomorrow. Well, whatever, the director of the Holocaust Museum could finally offer an interactive Holocaust experience for the whole family in one blow. That was really bad news. And then, of course, when they confronted him with this crime, he just said, no way, I wasn't there. There's no Holocaust museum. There isn't even a Holocaust. It's really, it was quite an example. And then, of course, in Washington also, I don't know how much of you know Hillary Felton broke her elbow here, right? Really bad news. So, of course, obviously blaming on the undersecretary who was supposed to be under her. And of course, she claimed she was dodging sniper fire, but we'll leave that for the record book. And then, of course, Fox News immediately picked it up. They said, Ronnie Reagan fell 10 times and he didn't even break his hair, and here she falls once and breaks her elbow. And then, of course, Bill here just immediately rushes to her nurse's bedside to offer the woman comfort, Anyway, we're almost done. And then, of course, this last week was National Vegetable Day in America. I don't know how much of you know that. Where Americans give up eating what they want for one day and they eat some vegetables. And then, of course, finally, last but not least, Donald Duck, of course, turned 75 this weekend. Yeah, way to go, Donald. And he does what every 75-year-old guy does, right? He dresses in a funny hat and no pants. Thank you very much.
Pinchas Levinson, that was rocket. We thought politics could be that funny. Keep it going. Weekend review with Pinchas.
Yeah.
One time, just clap for that. That was good times, really. Like a month to come up with one of those. With that in mind, guys, let's continue. Let's continue this.